Yes guys, welcome back to the channel. So today we're going back to grading NBA teams off seasons, and today we're going to grade the Phoenix Suns and their off season. Phoenix, they had a pretty eventful off season, that's how we're doing them. And yeah, let's get right into it. So we're going to start off with the trades in this video, and the trade they made was a big trade, and they made it early on in the off season, and that's for Chris Paul. Now obviously we all know Chris Paul was with the OKC last season, had a very successful year, became an All-Star again, and brought the OKC to the 5th seed. And so yeah, I think this was a good trade for Phoenix. They traded Kelly Oubre, Ricky Rubio, so two good players, but you have to give us something to get Chris Paul. Ty Jerome, Jalen LeCue, and the 2022 first round pick. And that was all to the OKC. And I think this was a good move for Phoenix. They needed more experience with Devin Booker in the backcourt. You need a big name with Devin Booker, you know. It's just him and DeAndre Ayton, and Chris Paul will add a lot. Chris Paul, good move as I said. Brings experience, he'll help improve Devin Booker, help improve the team's experience. I think the pick and roll to him and DeAndre Ayton will be good. So I think he'll improve everyone, and all around, even if he regresses, because last year he had a very good year with the OKC. Last year he averaged 17.6 points per game, 5 rebounds per game, 6.7 assists per game, shooting 48.9% from the field, and 36.5% from the 3-point line, and also 90.7% from the free throw line. So a very productive season for Chris Paul, and yeah, even if he regresses a bit this year, I still think this is a good move for Phoenix, because he'll bring stuff off the court like leadership, experience, help Devin Booker improve, and the youngsters. So good move for Phoenix overall, good trade. Then in free agency, they needed more wing players, more people to surround the backcourt of Chris Paul and Devin Booker with, and that they brought in probably one of the best wing defenders on the market, and that is Jay Crowder. Now Jay Crowder obviously last year started off at Memphis, then went to Miami, made it all the way to the NBA Finals with Miami, had a very successful season. He signed a 3-year, $30 million contract. They used their full mid-level exception on him, and I also think this was another good deal, another good move. He's going to bring a lot. He's going to fight. He's a workhorse. You know, he'll scrap for the ball. Obviously, you know, he's shown he's a capable defender, and he can score. Last year he averaged 10.5 points per game, 5.9 rebounds per game, and 2.5 assists per game, with shooting 40% from the field and 34.3% from 3. So he's shown he's capable of hitting the 3 ball, and he also shot 77.6% from the free throw line. Now I think Jay Crowder is a good pickup as well. I think he'll bring a lot of competitiveness, fight, and you know, Jay, obviously an experienced guy at this stage, and I think he's the right move. He's 6'6", bring with the height, and he's 30 years old, so he's not finished. He's not finished just yet. You know, he's still got a good bit to offer. Chris Paul, on the other hand, just go back to him momentarily. He's 35, but as I said, he'll bring a lot more than just basketball to the team. Who else they signed for agency? They also signed Larson Galloway. Now this guy, he shot nearly 40% from the arc last season. So they're surrounding Chris Paul, Devin Booker, and DeAndre Ayton with 3-point shooters. And that's what they need to do. Surround this team with shooters. And Larson Galloway, he will obviously shoot 4% from 3. He'll bring that, won't he? This move, you know, you can't knock it, can you? You know, if you're going to bring 3-point shooting, that's what they need. And they shot 40% on 5 attempts a game, so you know, you can't hit on it. Another guard, he'll bring 2-point shooting. They also signed Tawan Moore. Now he's another guard, more shooting. And they also brought back Javon Carter. He knows the group. He was with them last year. Do you see what they're going to bring is, you know, ball handling, some perimeter threats. You know, they both hit the ball from downtown, and just fill out the roster. These two players there. Every team needs these kind of players, these role players. Not going to be catching headlines, but they'll bring their own things. You know, some ball handling, some perimeter shooting, some good defense. You know, that's what you need. They also re-signed Dario Saric, and Dario, he can play him center, power forward if you want. He's 6'10", he's 26 years old, so you know, in his prime pretty much now, entering it anyway. And he'll stretch the floor for you. He can shoot the ball, and you know, as I said, this team needs shooters. You got a team with Chris Paul and Devin Booker, with DeAndre Ayton as your starting center. You also got Jay Crowder in there, surrounding the team with shooting, and that's what Langston Galloway will do. Tawan Moore and Dario Saric, they'll stretch the floor, make the floor as big as possible. Now, in the draft then, this year they had the number 10 overall pick, and they picked Jalen Smith. Now, there's some mixed reactions on Jalen Smith. Some people like the pick. Others said, there's some better players that slid down the draft that they could have got ahead of him. But, judging by his stats, he's a pretty productive player. Obviously, a centre, a big man. And last year, he scored 15.5 points per game, 10.5 rebounds per game, and averaged 2.4 blocks per game, while shooting 36.8% from 3. I think this is a good pickup. Yes, there's some other players that slid down the draft, but hey, this is a good player. Jalen Smith, he's a stretch big man, you could say, shot blocker. Yeah, bring height, 6'10", not quite 7-footer, but he'll bring height, he'll bring scoring and rebounding. And back up DeAndre Ayton. Never know what's going to happen to DeAndre after he got suspended last year. So I think this is a good move for the Phoenix Suns. So that makes Phoenix roster look like this. You got people like Ty-Shon Alexander. You got DeAndre Ayton, obviously, with your starting center. Devin Booker. Obviously Devin Booker and Chris Paul will be your starting backcourt. You also got Mikal Bridges in there. You got Javon Carter, as I said, who they brought back. Jay Crowder, who they picked up this offseason. Langston Galloway, Cameron Johnson, Damian Jones, Etwan Moore, Jonathan Motley, Abdel Nader, obviously CP3 as I already mentioned, Cameron Payne, Dario Saric, and Jalen Smith as your roster. Now, starting five, probably going to have Devin Booker and Chris Paul, as I said, in the backcourt. Jay Crowder, maybe just starting small forward, I think probably you can slip him in there. Obviously, DeAndre Ayton is just starting center. And then the power forward position, you could give it to Mikal Bridges if you wanted. You could find a place for him, or you could find someone else. I don't know. I'm not the head coach here. I'm not going to be predicting the team, but that's probably one of the most likely teams that's going to throw out. And Phoenix, I expect a lot from next season. I think my predictions video, I had them coming in the top 6 for sure in the West, and I stand by that. I expect playoffs this season at least, and round 2 of the playoffs, would be expected. Got Chris Paul, in his last legs. He's still showing he has stuff. He's not washed it by any stretch of the imagination. So while I still have a pretty good and productive Chris Paul, you may as well get the most out of him. So I think deep playoff run this year for the Suns would be a success. Now overall this offseason, I'm giving him an 8 out of 10. That's why around a B+. As I said, I'm a fan of what they did this offseason. And for Phoenix fans, you must be over the moon. You surrounded Devin Booker with talent, and that's what you needed to do. So you can't complain. You gotta be happy enough for that. And hopefully you can do something special next year. Anyway guys, that's the video. Make sure to like the video, subscribe if you're new, and turn on notifications, because we've uploaded every day this December, and we're going to keep doing this until the 25th of December. So turn on notifications, stay notified, and any videos you want to see, obviously leave them in the comments below. And with all I said guys, I'm out of here.